It's UFC Fight Night going down on Saturday, and we're back to talking about fist fights. First, your boy had COVID-25 or whatever the fuck you call it now. I got over it. I couldn't taste shit. That sucked, but I got over it. And then your boy went to Hawaii and sliced my fucking ankle open. I'll show you guys that in a second. But very first thing, let's talk about my 5 most confident picks for UFC Fight Night, Blanchfield versus Barber. And we'll start right at the top. I'm going with Erin Blanchfield. I think Erin Blanchfield hits these takedowns. I do think she hits this submission against Macy Barber. Fuck touching that co-main event because it's a close one. So I'm going to skip to Billy Ray Goff over Ramiz Brahimaj. Ramiz Brahimaj formally matched up on this card, so he was already ready to fight. It's not a short notice thing. It's a Goff being too good at striking and defensive wrestling. I do think he potentially gets Brahimaj out of there. Billy Ray Goff. Zach Reese over Dusko Todorovich. I think Zach Reese is too clean at striking, too dangerous for a Todorović who makes mistakes and doesn't have the best fight IQ. Balaji Oki. I think he's getting it done. Even with the opponent switch is probably a good thing. I think Kid Texas is going to have a lot of trouble with him. I think that Oki's a powerful striker, man. I'll probably get him out of there. And last but not least, I'm going with a ladies fight. Now, these ladies fights are closely matched, so I'm not talking about picking a winner here. I got to give you guys my 5 most confident, and honestly, I really have 4. So the last one I'm going to give you is an over. I think that Maycee, Chiasson, and Ketlen Viera damn near surely goes over 2.5 rounds, goes to a decision. I think those ladies are going to be in a close fight, and the odds aren't insane on that over either, if you think I'm just throwing something out there. So my 5 most confident for UFC Fight Night, Blanchfield versus Barber. I got Blanchfield. I'm going with Billy Ray Goff. I'm going with Zach Reese, Balaji Oki, and then give me over 2.5 Ketlen Viera and Maycee Chiasson. Those are my 5 most confident picks for the card, and let's break them down one by one. First of all, Erin Blanchfield is a tremendous grappler. She has problems with boxing. We saw her get exposed. Isn't that the word you guys all like to use? We saw her get exposed against Manon Fiorot. No, she doesn't have beautiful kickboxing. Okay. Her head movement, not really there. However, Maycee Barber is not some type of nuclear option striker. Not many ladies are. And Maycee Barber goes to decision quite a bit. She's a better striker. I mean, pure kickboxing, especially with the little gloves and MMA. Yeah, Maycee Barber is very comfortable. But in the grappling department, we've seen Maycee Barber get held down before. And I think that Erin Blanchfield is going to be able to get her out of there. Like when she takes Maycee Barber down, the difference is her submission game is very high level. Dare I say world class. She's a blue basement prospect. She was training over there at Team Henzo Gracie. That's the John Danaher group, the original gang over there in the blue basement. That is a high level. That is a world class gym. And she takes that over in MMA and she just mops the floor with these girls. On the ground, she is another level. Erin Blanchfield's jiu-jitsu is really nasty. And I do think the wrestling is probably a little bit better than Maycee Barber's too. So Maycee Barber can win around here and there. She could be mobile, move side to side, but they're in that little cage in Vegas. I do think that Erin Blanchfield gets her hands clasped, gets this takedown, and from there just fucking dominates her. Erin Blanchfield via submission, which, by the way, is plus money if you want to look at the submission. If you guys want to see my bets, I give them out on the premium channel, and I'm dropping them tonight. I'm thinking that Erin Blanchfield is getting this dub. Maybe I drop my bets this week after weigh-ins tomorrow. We'll see what's up, but I'll definitely drop some content for premium channel tonight. All right? Erin Blanchfield's a lock. Then I'm going to go with Billy Ray Goff. Billy Ray Goff because he's a solid MMA fighter, and Ramiz Brahimaj is much more of a jiu-jitsu guy who can wing other shit. He might be able to put Mickey Gall away, but this is a more powerful, more well-rounded, just more competent mixed martial arts fighter. I think Goff is going to be able to outstrike him, probably get him out of there around the third round. Goff is going to be hard to take down. And I think when he does engage in grappling, it's more of a Hail Mary if Ramiz Brahimaj is able to pull something off. I think Goff should be able to either do a 30-27 here or get him out of there late. Ramiz Brahimaj is kind of finish or bust. Probably bust here. He was getting ready for this card, so his cardio shouldn't be shit, but I think he's getting outstruck against Billy Ray Goff. Give me a moving forward, chin tucked, hands up, ready to put a pace on Billy Ray Goff in this matchup. Zach Reese over Dusko Todorović. Dusko Todorović is not very smart. That's a problem. He puts himself in bad positions. He bangs when he shouldn't bang. He just, his fight IQ, not great. And I think Zach Reese can expose that. Zach Reese is too dangerous. The way he followed, Marquez and then hit him with the uppercut. I'm getting his name right. Jesus Christ. Julian Marquez with the uppercut was really solid. I believe that he could do that here. I think he could land some shit, put a combination together. Yeah, why am I doubting myself? Julian Marquez. I think he could get, Todorović out of here. Jose Medina is not a bad win either. I think Dusko's kind of dumb. I think Dusko just bangs when he shouldn't, and that's not going to be good for him here. He should wrestle here. Would I bet that Dusko will wrestle? Probably not. And even if he wrestles a little bit, I don't think Zach Reese is bankrupt in grappling. He can grapple. It's a fucking big, strong dude. Faster, more direct with his shots. He's got knees. He's got kicks. I think he's scoring a knockout here. I think Zach Reese is going to look good and get a nice highlight over Dusko Todorović, who has been fairly disappointing in the UFC. In fun fights, for sure, but on the wrong side of those. Balaji Oki over Michael Aswell. Kid Texas is okay, but I think Balaji Oki, especially him taking it on short notice against Balaji Oki, who was getting ready for this Markel Medeiros, who's a great mobile striker. I think Balaji Oki is getting ready to cut him off and land a big shot in the cage. Perfect, because Aswell is not as mobile, not as technically sound. And I think Balaji Oki is going to be able to put a big shot on him. I do. I think this is a nice matchup for Oki, and just straight, honestly, a step down from what he was getting ready for. So mentally, that's a great thing. And then you got the guy in there on short notice. Balaji Oki's probably a lock here. Walks him down in the little cage. I think it's really nice to have Balaji Oki in the little cage, because the way you can outstrike him is being in that green zone, moving on him, kick that leg and move your head well. If he can march you down and get in the pocket a little bit with you, he could put a right hand on you. I think he'll do that here. I think Oki's, pretty solid pick here. And then, I avoided a couple of these other ones. I know, a lot of people are high on Jordan Levitt over Kurt Hollabaugh. A lot of people are high on Andreas Gustafsson over Trevin Giles. I'm going to throw in the ladies over because it's just too much of a lock. And both of them are, but especially Ketlen Viera and Macy Chiasson. If they don't go long, like, what is life, how the fuck is how are either of them going to finish each other? Kayla Harrison could not get Ketlen Viera even close to out of there. Ketlen Viera in the clinch fucking elbowed her in the face, had her, swollen up, made it a little bit of a fight, got out wrestled. But, I was telling AJ and on his show, like, I think she'd out wrestle some dudes. Kayla Harrison's, judo, her takedowns, Olympic level. So yeah, I think Ketlen looked fine there. And then, Ketlen's beaten Holly Holm and, some good ladies. So Ketlen Viera is competent. And then Macy Chiasson, dangerous when she gets on top of you, but overall, not some type of lethal weapon. I think they're going long. So Macy, Chiasson, Ketlen, Viera in this kickboxing / clinch fest that goes 3 rounds. The over 2.5 is I think really the home run there. So one more time for my people in the back. Ketlen, Viera, and Macy, Chiasson going over 2.5. Then I'm going with Balaji Oki taking out Kid Texas. Then I'm going to go with Zach Reese taking out Dusko Todorović. I'm going Billy Ray Goff. He gets 3 names. How lucky. Over Ramiz Brahimaj, which got moved as well as the Balaji Oki fight. And then I'm going Erin Blanchfield over Maycee Barber. Those are my 5 most confident picks for UFC Fight Night. And we got a nice one, because I'm flying back from Hawaii and I'm looking at my phone and going through these matchups and breaking them down. And I'm thinking, damn, a lot of these are hard to pick. Kurt Hollabaw's better at striking. Jordan Levitt's better at jiu-jitsu. Fuck. Mateusz Gamrot's better at wrestling, but Ľudovít Klein's better at striking. Mateusz Gamrot likes to fumble the ball. Ľudovít Klein is a winner. I'm like, fuck, these are hard. There were some hard matchups to break down on here, guys. So although the card is not star-studded, I think we're coming back to some fun fights. And these fight nights sometimes are the best opportunities to make money. I know for me, they've been my biggest hits. Like, I've made the most betting on fight nights, actually. So if you guys want to see my bets for this card, you could go to the premium channel. I'll probably drop the full bets tomorrow. But I'll give you guys something tonight. I'll watch weigh-ins. Why not? They're tomorrow afternoon. And then, and then I'll record my favorite bets, what I end up going for. Right now, I don't think I have any bets on this card yet. I'll probably place a couple tonight after the show. And then I'll jump in there and I'll place them tomorrow before I drop my favorite bets. I got an idea of what I'm looking at. So if you guys want to see my bets, they're over on the premium channel. Just DM at mikefinchshow on Instagram. We'll get you in there and you could check out what I'm betting on. I always drop a bet over in the free channel. You guys could also just click the link below and check that one out. And I told you where I was, right? I was in Hawaii. So I'm hanging out with my cousins. I got my little cousins, Pie and Winter, okay? And they are amphibious vehicles, all right? They're aquatic animals. They are, first of all, the bottoms of their feet are leather. We walk. They're like, oh yeah, let's go to the beach. Okay, cool. Let me grab my shoes. No, you don't need your shoes. I'm thinking we're going to walk on grass. No, we're walking on fucking gravel. I got blisters on the bottom of my feet, right? They're shocked by this, right? Because their feet are made out of leather. So I should have known already, but we go to an island off of the island. So Maui is right by Lanai. So we take a boat over to Lanai and we go snorkeling. And I'm over in the calm side, right? Because there's a side of the reef, the bay that's looking wavy. And they're like, oh no, that's where the cool coral is. This is where you're going to see. They were just saying they saw a fish this big. Like, oh, look, throw on your mask. I'm good over here. No, they're like, come over here. Go over to this side and scuba. I told them, I'm scared. Me and Pie. She's my little cousin Pie. She's like 11. She's like, I'm scared. I'm like, me too. Okay. It look wavy over there. And they were way out there. Fuck it. I follow him. We go out and I'm getting comfortable now. I'm seeing tons of fish. The coral's so tall. I mean, it was so cool. The island is so beautiful. Hawaii is amazing. So I'm getting a little froggy. I'm starting to dive down and stuff. Well, I'm used to swimming in lakes. So when you swim in the fucking ocean in Lanai, where the undertow and the current is strong, right? Where it's wavy, you get your ass kicked down there. So I'm diving. I can dive 10 feet down, 12 feet down. And I'm trying to go, into a fucking hole in the coral. And a big old motion of water comes through and the current just slams me into the coral. So I feel whack on my Achilles heel. I'm like, oh shit, you guys ready to puke? You guys ready for this? This is my heel, okay? This weekend, this is my heel, okay? That's what it looks like. This is after my wife cleaned all of the sand out of it. I whacked it on some coral, and yeah, so it was freaking it was raw. All right, so I'm like, okay, I'm bleeding. I'm like 200 feet, 250 feet off the beach. I think sharks can sense blood, so I dipped, right? I'm swimming my ass off. I'm going to the beach. I full panic, just fucking run onto the beach. Well, on the beach, there's sand. So I get sand all up in the cut, right? That wasn't good because now I got to lay down and my wife's got to, spray the cut with a hose to get the sand out. Turns out that doesn't get the sand out. Anyway, I'm like, I need stitches. They're like, you're gonna be fine. I go back. My wife takes hours, just takes her time. Q-tip, goes in there with Q-tips, just cleans out the cut really freaking well. That was after the cleaning of the cut. You could see there's no sand in there. Uses like glue that I don't want to promote their shit necessarily, but what is it called? Like New Skin. And new sponsor of the show. Just kidding. And glues the cut together. Guys, it's fine. It's doing great. I got no stitches. I was able to go. We did Pee-Pee-Wee Trail in Maui. I hiked 4 miles to a waterfall with this cut, and everything's good. I know it looks like I almost got my Achilles heel sliced because I did. But, hey, sometimes you feeling like a hot dog, you end up a weenie. You know what I'm saying? Learned that I am not a fellow semi-aquatic animal. I grew up swimming in lakes. I can fucking swim. Okay. Ocean doesn't give a fuck. So I sit here today with this massive gash in my heel, but I'm all good. All right. What say you, chat? Sean Shelby's first. Of course he is. Gonna put this Finch guy in a crossface if he's late. Bro, I'm like 5 minutes after the stream. Chill. Finchman would love your take on Patchy Mix. Is he the rightful favorite coming in on short notice? And what do you make of Chaos versus Uroch Medic? Chaos versus Uroch Medic, dope. Patchy Mix is great. Patchy Mix is a good striker, but phenomenal at submission grappling. His guillotine is world class. His guillotine, the way he puts you out is unbelievable. He told me his secrets, guys. I'll post it, okay? We did a video. I went to go, train, and Patchy Mix invited me to go take a practice with the team over there at the UFC Performance Institute, and he taught me the details of his guillotine. Holy shit. Patchy Mix has an incredible guillotine. One of his secrets, I'll tell you right now, he doesn't wrap his hands. Patchy Mix has bare fists under those gloves. Take a look. Everybody else wraps their hands. It's all fat, harder to grip. Not Patchy. Patchy goes out there bare palms. So when he wraps that fucking chin up, he gets a hold of it and he ain't letting go. And Patchy has submitted a top 5 UFC middleweight at the UFC Performance Institute. Okay. Can't be ratting on who it is, but it's pretty fucking impressive. Patchy Mix has a world-class guillotine and a rear naked choke that's nasty too. He's a fucking backpack too. So if Batista wants to fuck around on the ground, he's like, oh, I trained with a guy like Patchy Mix. He gives this to us in training. He's like 4-0 as a pro. Patchy Mix would smoke a 4-0 pro. Get the fuck out of here, Mario Batista. I think Patchy Mix is a real problem. But it's also my boy. What up, Paku? Let's go, Pepino. Joe Mills, I'm back, baby. Let's go. Like and subscribe, everyone. Steve-O knows what the fuck is up. Glad you're feeling better. Thank you, man. Never had COVID in 2019 to 2025, and then it wants to catch me now. Son of a bitch. I was starting to get a little cocky about it, Nah, I've never had COVID. Maybe I'm just one of those people. I'm just naturally immune, Just naturally immune to it, man. Didn't even know I had it if I did. No. I was laying in bed with the fucking flu. And I just thought it was the flu. And then I poured out cran grape, like one of my favorite drinks. I'd say like root beer and then like cran grape. Sip the cran grape. It tasted like water. The cran grape is so sugary and sweet. I'm like, oh shit. I started looking up like, okay, flu symptoms, can't taste food. Yeah. I had COVID-25. I've been waiting on this video all week. Streamline, thank you for your patience. Blanchfield is legit. Round 1 or 2 might be close. Round 3, 4, 5, she should dominate for Erin, bro. I think she dominates as soon as she gets on top. Love that over pick with the ladies. Mitchell, I would be so surprised if that did not happen. Finch, can you drop premium tonight and then update after weigh-ins? I could. I kind of want to see a couple of these stare downs. Like Ľudovít Klein is what, 3 inches shorter than Mateusz Gamrot? Really? I want to see that, There's a couple of these, like Trevin Giles took the fight on short notice. Is he fat? Because if he's fat, like there's a few of these where I do want to see weigh-ins. So yeah, I'll update premium with something tonight. I got you. Zach Reese let me borrow his Lamborghini once. Fuck yeah. Zach Reese has a Lamborghini. Okay. That's actually bad news. I want him to be hungry and poor. No, not poor, but if he already has a Lambo, he's further along than I thought. Finch, who will win? Marcus McGee versus Jan. I will break that one down when it goes down, dog. Is that Spanish? I don't speak Spanish. No habla. Blanchfield off. She's a problem. I just placed your top 5 as a parlay for plus 382. I get 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5 on the regular. So let's fucking go. Hope you had a good vacation, brother. Let's get it. Let's get it, Philip. I definitely did. Besides cutting my fucking leg off. Yeah, I did. That's an exaggeration. I like the confidence AJ has in Gustafsson, but I don't like the minus 170 money line for parlays. The way I'll play the fight is Gustafsson knockout, single at plus 180. Yeah, man. I mean, even, Gustafsson swings wild. It's like I tried to convince myself to give you guys Gustafsson as a top 5 most confident. I did. That's one of the things AJ and I were talking about. Sitting on that's why I was 5 minutes late. Sorry, Sean Shelby. I was talking to AJ and it's like, I think he's too fucking wild. Like I watched one of his fights back just now and he's a little too sloppy, dude. I could see him getting clipped too. Could see them getting into a little bit of a war. I like the pressure. He's tough as fuck, but like, UFC newcomer Trevin Giles has been there, done that. I don't know. Coral hit a vicious low kick. Yes, it did. Ouch. Yes, it was ouch. Jose Delgado versus Hyder Emil. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me meditate on that one. That glue can't claim in clutch with wifey came in clutch, brother. Okay? Get yourself a good wife. All right? If I can give anybody advice out there, I've been with the same girl for 16 years. Okay? We started dating my sophomore year, her freshman year of high school. Never broke up. Good girl, right? Takes care of me when I fuck up. So shout out to wifey. Should have trusted your first instincts about that area in Maui, brother. Tell me about it. I said it out loud. They're like, come over here. All right. Bro, that water ain't playing. Batista is cooked. I'm fucking rooting for Patchy so hard, dude. Patchy gonna kick his ass. Let's fucking go. Let's go, AW. Let's get this money. You're on Reese, but what would Dusko's path to victory be? Just curious, taking him down, bro. Dusko's path to victory, I think, is taking him down, wrestling with him, grappling with him, getting him a little tired, a little less dangerous, a little less pop. Because what do I think he will do? Bang with him. They're in that little cage, he's going to throw some shit. Reese is going to slam some shots down the pipe, throw some kicks in there, throw a knee up the middle. I think Dusko's getting knocked out, dude. but he should be a mixed martial artist. He should try to wrestle. He's a strong dude. We've seen Reese get slammed on his fucking head. You know, Dusko should try to ground and pound him. Finch, I need a long shot parlay that can get me out of the ghetto. I don't, you know, if you're going to do a long shot parlay here, I would recommend throwing in under overs as well, right? Okay, I gave you one in the 5 that I'm confident in. Get out the hood. Good luck. High confidence in Jacoby. Did you hear it in the top 5, brother? What's up? The last Ron. Yo, Finch coming you from Algonquin, Illinois, hometown boy. What up, Vince? All right. Algonquin's not, yeah. Born in Chicago, raised in like Lake Villa, Lindenhurst, Gurnee, Wadsworth area, and then moved back to Chicago, lived in Roscoe Village, worked in Lincoln Park and River North. So you're from the stomping grounds. You're not too far, Vince. All right. You guys got it. Those are my 5 most confident picks for UFC Fight Night, Blanchfield versus Barber. If you want to see my bets, click the link below. I'll drop a free one or DM at mikefinchshow on Instagram. My guy T will get you in to check out my favorite bets. I'm looking forward to having some fun betting on this card. I do think there are a couple under-overs that look really nice to me. There's a dog or two I like as well. We'll see what I end up betting the most on. I'll make my most intelligent bets, and then I'll drop them for you guys. I do think I'm going to place a couple bets after weigh-ins as well. All right. I'm going to drop you guys some content on Telegram now. If you want to check out AJ DeVito's show tomorrow, go to MMA Experts. He is going to have on a UFC fighter. Okay, that's news, first of all. He just said fighter. UFC fighter. And I get to drop the news right here. It's a 125er. AJ is going to have a UFC flyweight on the show tomorrow. You guys could check out his lunchtime live with the UFC flyweight tomorrow at, 1:30 Eastern time, 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. Enjoy that lunch sandwich with your boy AJ DeVito. And I will see you back here for my full card predictions tomorrow, post weigh-ins. I will see you guys tomorrow, right back here on the live. Until tomorrow, it's peace and love.